Funny Minds. I'm your host, Lynn Viss and Eddie Viss, and we've got Jeff. Oh my God, I'm so thrilled to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eddie, tell us who Jeff is.
Well,
and then we'll let Jeff tell us.
Yeah. He's the father of my children, for starters. He's my baby's daddy. Jeff is a, well, let's just say a long time, lifelong musician and drummer extraordinaire, hailing from the mighty Staten Island, and has done so much throughout the years, but I'm going to let him touch on that. Jeff and I have a long-standing history as bandmates, friends, brothers, and we've done a lot together. And again, we'll touch on all that. We'll let him talk. But in regards to drummers, you're not going to find much better. Not only that, but as a friend and a person. He's got a beautiful son now.
Oh, congrats. How old?
6 years old.
Yeah. Well, now obviously he has, you haven't met him yet, but we had him over and he's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jeff, give us a run through of how you got started, man. I mean, you got to think you were taught well. I'd like to touch on your beginnings and how you got influenced and what started you.
It's I was influenced by Kiss.
I love Kiss.
Everybody I know was also, and it's not shoot, I got into them when I was 7. I started playing drums. I started taking lessons when I was 10, and stuck with it. But Kiss was the inspiration really to be that, and to do anything. And I think quickly I realized it wasn't really as much of a musical inspiration after a couple of years as it was just this iconic figure that we all wanted to be. And it's like I want that. I want that larger than life kind of thing. I mean, I'm not in that space now, but it's back then for sure. But no, I took lessons for 8 years straight. Two different teachers, each one 4 years. I'll give them props. Alan Wilkov was my teacher. Great, formally like a formal jazz academic kind of thing. Taught me everything from zero, and I stuck with him for 4 years. Reading, counting, metronome, everything, stick control, every aspect of drumming. And then I went on to another teacher, John Sirocco, also both on Staten Island. Stayed with him for 4 years, did more odd time signatures with him and more fusion-y kind of stuff. And just as I evolved, and at that time, that was coinciding with me being into 13, 14 years old. I was into and progress rock and stuff like that. His teachings were very much in sync with what I was interested in with bands. So that was cool. But yeah, I did that for 8 years. And then I started teaching at 17, started playing clubs at 16. Never really stopped, got into songwriting at 22. Started producing some studio stuff at 25. Dabbled in covers, and I always did originals, but dabbled in covers.
Hung out a lot at the Red Spot.
I actually didn't. I didn't hang out at the Red Spot that much in Staten Island. I was more.
That was a club in Staten Island.
Lemoore.
Okay.
And Lemoore and On Stage and some other spots in Staten
Lemoore.
Island.
Well, Lemoore is. I mean, my God, dude. Anybody up in that area, or even all national acts, everybody came through Lemoore's at some time or another. At that time.
It's funny because, I mean, the club scene that I've seen as an adult, here or anywhere has not compared to what we had in the 80s. It was
far different.
Oh, it was a whole different scene back then.
It was a culture. Yeah, it was like culture.
Oh, very much so.
Club. Yeah, it was amazing. Everybody would get all dressed up and decked out, and
Oh yeah.
Even my father wore a Sunday best.
Oh yeah. I was just saying, I mean, and that was not just going out there. I mean, anywhere you went, like I was thinking about that when I was flying down here. Like everybody dresses like they're in rags, but years ago, you got dressed to the hilt to get on the plane to go somewhere because you didn't ever want anybody to think that you weren't, like taking care of yourself.
It's
Now
true.
we all walk around in jeans and yoga pants and
True.
I think he's referring to the female fans.
Well, female. Well,
High
his father's not
hair.
a female.
High hair. No, I know. His dad was a stud.
It was amazing back then.
You're killing me, and you're killing me. Mama Fall. That's my Mama Fall impression.
Okay.
Jeffrey. It's like her with Edward. Jeffrey.
So, yeah. So no, it's a
Staten Island was a crazy scene back then, Jeff. I mean, all the girls, high hair, big lips, lipstick, I should say. It was definitely a unique scene. The Lemoore scene was phenomenal. Who were some of the bigger, I should say, not so much bands, but musicians that you played with back then? Some of the Staten Island crew.
I don't know. Besides,
Any of the Twisted Sister guys, or
did I see? Who did I see?
no? Have you ever jammed with any of those guys up there?
Not really. Not really. Back in the scene, I was just doing covers and just original stuff, but nobody really. I never knew any of the Twisted Sister guys. I met AJ once. He sat in on my drum set on at a cover gig and beat the crap out of my drums in one song. I had to get all new heads.
Are you serious?
Oh no! Are you kidding? Wow.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. I invited him to sit in, and he played Tush from ZZ Top.
I love it. No, ZZ Top is so good.
Yep. And he just beat them like they owed him money. I was like, what the hell, bro? Hey, give me your address so I could wreck something. I want to come by and wreck something too. No, it was cool.
My God.
That's awesome, man.
But those are fun stories. I love stories like that.
Oh, we got 99 episodes of them.
Yeah.
Jeff, are you kidding me? We haven't even touched on the whipped cream yet, Jeff, but we're gonna stick with drumming right now, and basically how the world came to get to know Mr. Jeff Thal. Obviously, you sewed your oats up there. You did a lot. I'm not even going to get into the whole other aspect of what you did with your brother. That's a whole separate story. But you found yourself down in Florida. Started picking up business down here. You got into personal training.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did it for a while.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did it for 14 years. That was a good choice as a musician to back myself up. It was,
that's true.
It was fun. I had my own business doing it in New York and in Florida. I made good money, made a lot of friends, and it was just fun, and when it wasn't fun,
out a lot of fans.
So that was your day job.
It was a great day gig. It really was. And then
that's
when
great.
I was done with it, I went back into music full time, and that was fun too. So, I just, whenever I felt like making the switch, I did. So, but it was cool. I actually made more music contacts in personal training than in music, dealing with, musicians.
Really?
Well, yeah, when you're a musician, everybody in your circle is a broke ass bastard.
Very true.
We're all swimming in the same pool, trying to, so nobody could really help you. But I mean, when I was a personal trainer, I was dealing with all these millionaires on Wall Street, and it's like, oh yeah, my friend so and so owns a record label. Or we're going to this record label party. Do you ever hear of this artist? And he named somebody like totally famous. It's like, yeah, we're going over to his party or something like that. It's, so they were all these people, or especially in New York, they all had connections So
Yeah, that's New York.
Well, yeah, that's New York for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, everybody's got a connection when you're in New York, especially Staten Island. I'm
yeah,
not going to say why, but you know,
I was gonna say in more ways than one. I've
more ways than
Yeah.
one.
So you're a good friend of Moose and Rocco as well.
Yeah, right.
I've met. Hey, I used to train on Toad Hill in Staten Island. I used to walk past what is it? Paul
Castellanos house?
Castellano's house every
Yeah.
day with one of my clients, and I actually was in somebody else's house. I'm not going to mention any names. That was
That's all right.
it was a major connected person, and I didn't know. I gave the woman a consultation, and I'm thinking to myself,
Did
what
you
she
get a little paranoid?
started opening, running her mouth, saying all this personal stuff to me. I'm thinking to myself, this place is probably bugged. I got to get the hell out of here.
You're right.
Oh, I guarantee
You're right. The CIA, the
Well,
FBI.
So fast forward a year or two later, her husband wound up in prison and connected,
Well, most of them did. So
so I'm glad I didn't take that one on. But yeah, that's a Staten Island story, so
so what made you want to come to Florida?
a woman and the weather. I think
Oh,
that's
well, there's always a woman in the story.
and there's usually, and people are usually, it's always the same story. It's either a relationship or the weather. And in my case, it was both. And then after the relationship was done, I was like, I'm staying here. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not going back to that.
Well, you don't go back there yet now.
What?
Unless to visit.
What'd you say?
I say you just go. You never move back to New Jersey and New York. You only go back to visit. That's it.
Yeah. So check this out. I actually moved back twice. I had moved to Florida 3 times. I had to move 3 times to get it right. So yeah. And I remember every time I would go back to Staten Island, my friends would say, you decided to come back. I said, don't get comfortable. I said, I'm not staying here. I'm getting my shit together and I'm going right back to Florida again. So
temporary.
I will not die on this garbage dump hill.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, the dump. I remember going to that mall and I caught it on the wrong day where the wind was just right.
Yep.
And, I remember I was going to buy like a stoop or something. I don't know. And we had to run from the car into the mall so we didn't vomit. I mean, it was like you were in a giant haunted diaper.
It was really bad. It was actually really, really bad when the dump was open. Before closed it up, and the mall was seriously across the street from.
Oh no.
And it would come in your air conditioning vents in the summer. And it was just, I remember you could just vomit. It was really bad. But hey, I have a lot of good memories. I have a lot of good memories, great people there and stuff, but I'll never go back now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. But and this is much better on any day. This is much better. Yeah, but
even in a hurricane, it's better.
Well, I don't know about that, but
well,
the funny part is, look, you have a hurricane here once in a while and stuff like that. But I remember when they had Hurricane Sandy that demolished some of my friends' houses up in Staten Island.
Yeah.
And I'm like taking my dog for a walk outside in Florida on a nice sunny day while they're all, having the storm.
Oh yeah, that was very traumatic for a lot of people.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I'm saying never say never, because
Well, what part of Florida are you in? You don't have to say the town if you don't want, but what part?
I'm in Sarasota.
Oh, okay. Sarasota's a nice area.
Where all the rock stars retire.
Nice.
Robin Zander, lead singer of AC/DC, Brian Johnson.
Yeah, I hung out with him. I hung out with him at one of my gigs before we went on. He walked right in, and we wound up having a beer together. He was actually super cool.
Did you understand a word he said?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he looks exactly the same. As soon as he walked in with that hat, as soon as he walked in the door, I just happened to be standing in the middle of the floor, and he walked in, and I looked at him, and I was the first person he saw, and I said, "Dude, You look exactly the same as you did when I was listening to Back in Black when I was in the 7th grade.
Like he hasn't, like it's like just you're looking at the album cover, you know?
Yeah, that was exactly
Yeah, but
the
that
same.
might be a lot of plastic surgery too, you know, you don't know.
He,
I don't think so.
without the hat, he might look different. I don't know.
Okay. Hey,
Maybe there's no hair under there.
Do
He
you
was, I'm sure not, you know, it's I don't have any hair. When I take the full mask off, I don't have any hair either.
Hey, do you remember a bar down in the Village called what the hell is it called?
Don't be naming all that weird stuff you did.
No, the Bat Cave, or I don't know, it was in the Village. It was one of you walk down the steps and it was dingy, like the Bat Cave.
That's what was, I don't know. That was cool about the Village, though. I didn't hang out in the Village all the time. I wish I had spent more time in the city. You know, I was more of a suburban guy.
The city was so cool.
Yeah,
Back then, especially.
You did, like, you know more about the city actually than I do and stuff like that. But I remember a couple of bars that were cool. And I definitely have been to some that you had to walk downstairs to like a cellar. And there's this whole little culture going on in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, the all-night bars that you had to give, you know, you knock on the door and you had to give a password and they let you in.
No, I did, because you were talking about Brian Johnson. I went to one of those places down there, like the dungeon. I don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
And I was in line to pee behind like 1,000 dudes because there's like one stall. And who was behind me but Lemmy from Motorhead?
Oh.
Standing there, just stand, you know, and I turned around, I was like, holy shit. That's not a Halloween costume, that's fucking Lemmy. Holy shit, he had a Jack and Coke in his hands, and he was like, you know.
Was the Jack and Coke up here?
Eventually.
Oh God,
That's
funny.
awesome, dude.
So what are you doing now? What's the name of your group that you're with?
I'm not with any one particular group. I just do money gigs, really. It's nothing really going on. It's just
Well, you have the U2 situation going on. Has that launched?
That's cool. That's actually cool, and that's got a lot of promise to it. My singer Timmy.
U2 tribute.
Oh, you're doing a tribute. Okay.
It kind of just fell into place. You know, I played a church band actually on Sunday mornings. I've been doing that for 5 years, and it's a great gig. And I do about maybe 5-6 bars or so a month. Besides that, and not too many anymore. I don't really want to. But Timmy was he's a singer and keyboard player in the church band, and he played me a demo one day that he did in his house, and it happened to be a U2 song. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, Timmy, you sound 100% like Bono. Like, you sound exactly like the guy, exactly.
Oh, wow.
So I proposed the idea. I said, would you ever consider a tribute band? You know, they do really well. I said, I was in one with this wacky guy, Eddie.
Hey, dude, it's your fault that I even did.
I did pull you in. I did pull you in. I pull you into every band.
People have no idea. They look at you and they go, oh, Eddie's done like every tribute under the sun. And I'm like, yeah, you know why? Because of Jeff Thal. If I didn't know Jeff, I wouldn't have done any of it. And here I am.
I did pull you in. But the guitars.
Right in, you banana head.
Yeah, we had some fun. You know, you stuck with it for the long haul too. I
don't know how.
The last time I saw you, Jeff, oh my God, I don't remember. I was still with John, so maybe it was 8 years ago, and you were playing on the beach in Clearwater. Remember, we came over to see you, and it started to rain a little bit. Remember?
I think it was at Shepherd's.
Yeah, Shepherds. That was it. Shepherds.
That was when you were playing with Shane.
Sweet Spot.
Yeah, we had to be down for like a family reunion. We were next door, and you were playing that weekend. So of course we were going to go over. I think we had something to eat, and then we went outside by you. And yeah, that's the last time I saw you.
Sweet Spot was one of the best bands I've ever been in. That's it. That band
really?
Well, you guys
absolutely
had a
amazing.
really good run, and
no, but the band was really amazing. The band was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
You know, This is I learned a lot from being in that band. Actually, it was like 8 years, 9 years I was with them, and we were doing about 5 shows a week. So it was
Yeah,
busy.
you guys are crushing it.
I thought about them yesterday when I did a Jaeger shot. Actually,
What, you trying to say Shane likes Jaeger?
that was all.
And where were
all
you
water.
doing Jaeger shots?
That was all water. I'm not going to say how many we did. I don't think there's a counter that goes up that high. But
Oh my God, I could never stand Jaeger myself.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
well,
pretty good.
that band got me used to it. But it's I had, it's weird. That was the closest I ever felt to probably actually being like a rock star, was in that local Clearwater cover band. I've played bigger shows. But that band had this magic that would suck people in, and people would come up asking for autographs and to sign things and to take pictures of us and videos of us. They would take pictures of us when we walked in to see a different band, when a different band was playing.
Well, that's great for you, for ego. It really strokes your ego a lot. No.
Yeah, no, it was really, we were rocking it there, and we were like dominating that scene, and it was a lot of fun. But the best part about it is, you know how it is, Eddie, when you play with guys that are like a brotherhood, when you really, everybody on the band, and you look forward to doing it every night. You look forward to it because you want to see the guys, because you have so much fun on and off the stage. We were all friends. It was great. And, to be honest, it was fun until it wasn't. When it wasn't.
Yeah.
With Jeff's famous last words, and I'll never forget this. The first time. The first time we did a show doing crew at Gasparilla, and I remember getting off stage, and you said to me, "Well, that didn't suck." And I could hear you talking about Sweet Spot, and I could see you going into the club every night going, "Well, this didn't suck."
It's true. It's true. That Gasparilla show was good. I had fun with you guys at Carnival of Crew. That was a good band. It was we did some good shows.
Well, now you opened Pandora's box now, Jeff. Now I think the viewers out there are going to want to hear a little bit about some of your fonder moments out on the tribute trail with Carnival of Crew, and how you adopted probably one of the very few drummers that you ever seen adopt whipped cream into a drum solo on a nightly basis.
Wait. This is like real whipped cream?
Yeah.
And what did you do? Throw it up in the air? I mean, what?
Oh, yeah.
I think I licked it off of some girl's breast. I don't remember. Hey, if people ask, you should oblige, so.
Yeah. It doesn't make you a bad guy.
Okay. So did this become like a regular part of the show?
Depends on the night. So Carnival of Crew actually opened me up they let me out of my shell more as far as a performer. It was because I had to. I was playing the Tommy Lee role. But I'm a lot shorter, so is Tommy Pee Wee.
Tommy R.E.
But no, I had to act. I had to be, the fun part is there's nothing you could do
wrong.
Right. As Tommy Lee in the crew band, there's nothing I could do that would have been deemed unacceptable behavior.
Exactly. Talk about an talk about a wide open door.
Yeah. There's no filter there on the crew.
Right. Yeah. So I wasn't used to acting like that. So at first I had to force it. And then after a while, we all want to, but I had to force myself to do it. And then after a while, it became part of the show. And I was like, okay, I can rock this. This is cool. And you just kind of take on the role. And then I was like that with every band after
that. We created a monster, a Thalstein.
Oh my God.
Like Frankenstein, like a Thalstein.
Oh my God.
He's got neck pulse and he's like walking around, but we would stop literally before every show, and he would have to pull over and he'd buy like at least 3 cans of whipped cream.
Oh, okay. Then you were really into this, Jeff. You're
And I-
trying to
I
pretend
can
like
only
you're
say
such
this
an
now because
angel
he's not
here.
married.
Is that true? I
You're
don't
not
know.
married,
No, he's not married.
but you
So-
have a little boy. How old is he?
He's 6 years old.
Oh, how cute. Such a
Yeah,
cute age.
he's my mini me.
he's totally his mini man.
What's his name?
Mason.
Mason? Oh.
Mason, yeah. So yeah, so that's
cute.
great. That's obviously, you know, Eddie, that's very rewarding. It's the best thing that could ever happen. It's and you've always been like a real proud father. You always have. I saw that. You know, and in my mind, your kids are still 2 and 3 and 4 years old. So like,
Yeah.
we saw them.
Now they're 2 feet taller than me.
Yeah.
I know, it's funny when I came by with Mason, I was like, these are your kids? I was like, these grown men. Grown men.
Bearded.
I thought you were
kids
2.
with beards.
I thought you were still 2 years old. So yeah,
That's
but
awesome, but
it's
go ahead,
good
man.
stuff.
Fill her in. Just spew it, man. Let it be your, you know, like this is your final confession
I'm not.
on everything you did with Crew.
I didn't. Crew was not my wildest time.
He's playing coy now. Look at him.
But Crew was not.
Listen, how did you wind up with the poor name Jackhammer?
You're
How is that-
turning,
how
you're
is-
turning
He's
red.
turning purple. You're like a cute little
You're
blueberry right
turning
now.
red right now.
You know what's funny? No, it's very hard to make me blush, actually. But I honestly, you know, like me and you, well, ever since we became friends, comedy was a big part of our friendship. Most of my friends laugh a lot and stuff like that. It's very high on my list. I honestly think when I see stuff like Impractical Jokers, like those guys.
Yeah, I like them.
I watch the stuff. I swear I would give up music to do that.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I don't do music,
with
but
you and me. Yeah.
Yeah. I would do that with you in a heartbeat. It would be the best life ever.
It would be super cool.
oh, they are so funny, so
It's
crazy
unbelievable.
funny.
It's unbelievable. It is. I watch these guys as like,
Such a cool concept.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, who has a better job than them? It's
I
like-
know. I know.
And just hanging with your buddies, having like the greatest time, and making a lot of money.
Yeah, at the same
Oh my
time.
God,
I seen their Tenderloin show down here in Tampa. They do a live performance, and they call themselves the Tenderloins.
as a
And they
band,
yeah, Impractical Jokers, all the guys.
Mhm.
a
Well,
live
the one
performance.
left. The one
What do
guy
they
left.
do?
What's that?
What did they do? Like on what
They
did they?
did a well orchestrated live show that had a lot of video of stuff that was never seen on TV.
Oh,
They did a lot of
Oh,
banter
wow.
back and forth, ripping on each other, telling stories that people would never know, and they were backing it up with giant video. They did it at the Florida Theater down here in downtown. It was phenomenal. Lisa and I, we had a blast. She loves it too. And they actually, because I thought to myself too, like, what are they going to do? It's not the show. But they had it all sketched out, and it was just super funny. It was awesome.
they're awesome.
But I agree with you. If we, in a perfect world, if we could have did that
Yeah.
instead of wear wigs and whipped cream,
And
so much
sweat to
cooler.
death on stage.
Not be late for anything. and
Not
not
have to set up and break down.
set up, break down, lift shit. You know.
Yeah, I don't really like doing any of it. But you know, playing is still kind of cool, but I'd rather
Of
do something
course.
else. You know, comedy is much better. But although that's a tough gig, I think if you're a solo, if you're trying to get up on stage and make people laugh as a solo comedian, until you
Yeah.
make it, when you got to prove yourself in a small
Yeah.
comedy club.
Yeah.
That's a-
Stand-up comedy is a whole different. I mean, you really have to be good. Some of
You
these
gotta get
people are
prepared to take your
bomb.
lumps.
Yeah.
I give them a lot of credit for doing that. That's tougher than being in a band, for sure.
Yeah.
you're up there alone and you're trying to make a bunch of people laugh and they're all judging you. That's tough. But
They are, and if you've got a deadbeat crowd, oh my
Yeah.
God.
And it's
Yeah, I
almost
mean,
like they
I'm-
don't want to laugh. They look at you like, all right, make me. You
Right.
know, like they got that look on their face, and you're like,
and you could be
you
the
know,
best.
I could whip out my balls right now, and that probably would make at least your wife laugh. But you know, that can at least get the ball rolling. But
Right.
it is very tough. I've done it,
It
and
is.
and I give anybody credit who even attempts it.
I love
No,
to go
me
to a
too.
comedy show and sit up front because I like to interact with the comedian. And it doesn't bother me in the least. I love it. It's like,
She just
pick on
drives
me.
them
I
nuts.
love it. I'm with you, you know.
You thought your mom was a piece of work, Jeff, and I know she was. Could you imagine having to do comedy with her? Like, I don't find that very funny.
That's
do
not
you, Do you
true.
find that? I don't think. You know, I'm serious. You know, like you would have to get past that. And that right there is
That's
awesome.
not true.
It's so true.
That's
I
funny.
laugh at everything.
She
I'm
can
a
make it
blonde. I'm a blonde. I have blonde moments. I have to laugh at myself, you know?
I play jokes on my mother all the time. All the time.
So do I.
Is
I've
your
been
mother
doing-
down for? Yeah, he does.
She's
I
not like
spike my hair up, I put on a goatee, and I fly up there, and I'm like, "Hi, Mom, I'm late."
she wanted to know because she's over on the other. She's in Boca. She's on the other coast.
Oh, she's
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so she
Okay.
wanted to know how we did in the hurricane and everything, and how everything was. And she was blowing up my phone every day, even when everything was fine. You know, so
Right.
I go right onto Google and I download a picture of a wrecked house, of a completely destroyed house. Yeah.
With like an alligator in the front yard.
Yeah, right.
Took
Or
2
a
seconds.
shark.
It took 2 seconds of my time. And I say, well, things are looking up and, you know, we took some damage, but here you go. And I say,
Oh my God. You
She's
probably
like,
given her a
"Oh."
heart attack.
I've been doing this since I was 5. I've been doing this kind of stuff since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
So
And I
she
will
knows
not
you
change.
better.
I will not
Like,
change.
Jeffrey, are you on the pot? You go, yeah, it's just for this. Oh man, that's all.
I have a friend in Tampa that I told her we talked about this whole skit about moms talking to you when you're on the bowl through the closed door having a conversation. Yeah, it's, she'll try to have a full conversation with me, you know.
Oh,
and
you're on the ball.
my
I've done
most
that to
private,
my kids too.
she's like, it's always this really weird, awkward. First, it's like this awkward silence because she would just show up. She would just show up at the door. Like I never heard any footsteps. She would just show up at the door. It's like all of a sudden the voice is just there. Jeff, like, yeah. What are you doing? I'm building the
Yeah,
most
what are you
awesome
doing?
card house. I'm building the best card house you've ever seen. Don't come in.
But mothers are like that. I'm sorry.
I
I did
know.
the same thing too. You don't think. You just don't, you know. Or I'd say to my kids were like in a crabby mood. I'd say, did you go potty today? Like, did you know, do you have a like maybe you need to go in and go potty? And they look at me like, Mom,
Yeah,
21 years old. You
that's
know.
funny.
Like, Jeffrey, you know, I do your laundry and I only find one sock, Jeffrey. Where is the other?
Oh,
You know what
God.
pisses
Sock
me off?
stuck to your wall, Jeffrey.
Tell me if this pisses you off. I actually get like violently angry inside when I go to somebody's house and they don't have an exhaust fan in the bathroom and like there's some kind of like gathering and like you have to use the bathroom.
Oh,
like-
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah. It's
And
like
you
you're
know there's
you're
someone
afraid.
outside waiting to come in,
Uh-huh.
like a girl.
Well, you can hear them. You can hear like a dinner party, like a dinner party of 20 people on the other side of the door in the dining
Yeah.
room. And if you could hear them talking while you're in there, there you go.
Yeah.
An awkward moment. You got that weird awkwardness where you know you ate oatmeal like 6 hours prior.
I know, right?
Shit like that. And then you ate some weird shit at their house, and the stomach is like, all right, I'm done.
Oh my God.
I'm done. I'm done. And you're gonna pay, Jeffrey. You're gonna pay right now. So, and then they have that.
Dumb and Dumber, you just open the window. You start fanning it
Well,
out.
maybe there's no window. Maybe there's no window. You're looking for the.
Oh, that's the worst.
My luck.
No window, no exhaust fan. That's got to be the worst.
And like a bunch of bottles outside.
And they have that. And then they have that awkward 2 to 3 inch gap of space between the floor and the door. It's like who built this house? Who built this?
Who does this?
There's no door sweep. It says there's just 3 inches of open space between the door and the floor. So might as well just, I mean, they could pass a tray of food under there. It's like, they can hear you.
You know what the funny part is about that? And obviously everybody's experienced that, but you still kind of tilt your head down and look as if you're going to see an eyeball or something.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
At that point, you got to own it. You have to own it.
You just have
to make as much noise as possible and just be like,
run the water, do whatever.
Or just make believe you vomited. You're like, oh, sushi. Oh.
Jeff, is there any sites that you would like anybody in the audience to go on to like see things for you or whatever?
Where do they track you down?
Yeah, where do they track you down to come and see you? Or you don't?
I don't invite anybody to my cover gigs.
Makes it so much easier.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all right. All right.
It's not my kind of playing. It's fine.
So
it's fine.
It's your thing to just do, and that's it.
Yeah, but everybody out there can find you and look you up on Instagram, Facebook.
Go to my website. Go to my website, jeffthal.com. It's got my.
Okay.
That's nice and easy.
Yeah. That's it. Jeffthal.com's got everything on there.
And there's so much more we would like to talk to you about, but our episode is over now. But you could do another one with us.
He has a long standing, and a lot of people don't know this, but he did porn for a while. And that's a whole.
Okay.
No, you made me do it. You made me.
I know. Well, see, you made me do tribute stuff, and I made you do porn. I had to get you back.
I said, Eddie, come on, can't we just be normal and hang out and watch TV or read a book or something like that? He's like, no, and he comes out with the camera again.
Yeah. He's like, why do you just this is not a skill, this is a blue pill.
He gave me a whole bowl. He gave me a whole bowl of blue pills. He said, just take this. I said,
oh my God.
This doesn't look like Lucky Charms. He said, it is for me.
All right, well, Jeff, I've loved having you on. I'm so happy to see you again because I haven't seen you in so long. And maybe the next time I'm down, maybe come over with your son, So
I would love to.
Oh, you're not gonna have to twist his son's arm to come back.
Yeah, I'm sure not,
Yeah, he had a great time.
Thank you. And I really, really appreciate you finding the time to be on the show and be with us because you're hysterical. As much as you are an accomplished drummer and musician and writer and everything that you've done, you are hysterical. So, I would really like to thank you again. And
thanks for having me on.
My audience out there, we are funnyminds.com, and go on the website and you can hit on Spotify, YouTube, any of the channels to listen to our podcast. And please donate to our organizations. There's a little area there and you can push the donate button, and it's St. Jude's Children's Hospital and breast cancer. And we have our own store, and you can contact us. You want to say something, you have some ideas, or
you want to see
anything.
Jeff again.
Yeah, if you want to see Jeff again, I want to see Jeff again. Go on to funnymind.com and and enjoy yourself, enjoy the site, and I hope you enjoy our shows. So, Jeff, I'm going to say goodbye, but I wish you would be on again.
I'll come back on.
I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, and bye-bye out there to all of you. Take care.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.